So in this video, let's talk about which remote sales jobs you should avoid. I'm going to talk about 3 different ones in this video, with the first one being, in my opinion, super obvious, but time and time again, I get asked over and over again, if they should do it, why shouldn't they take it? If they should take it, people telling me they have taken it. And that first one I'm talking about is people that are asking for high ticket prices for a job in exchange. You should never buy a job off of someone. If someone is saying, hey, pay me $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in order to get a job, if they're advertising job posts and then saying, hey, if you want to land this job, pay me for the guaranteed placement, that is a scam. That is not real. If someone's saying, hey, I charge a service where I help you find jobs, I teach you how to find jobs, or I, give you access to my pipeline of jobs, like that's fine. But as soon as you are paying for the job, as soon as you are paying specifically to be placed on an offer, 1, that's not real. And 2, if it is real, the company that they're placing you on isn't going to be good, because at the end of the day, what other industry, like you have to realize remote sales jobs is just like landing any other job. What industry could you pay to get on a team, pay to be a part of the job? Jobs are based on qualification. Jobs are based on competence. Jobs are based on, do you have the skills to actually fulfill the work that needs to be done? And no amount of money is going to replace that fact. So you can't pay for a job that's in turn going to pay you for the skill sets and competencies that you do not have. And if you do, it's either a bad company that is just taking on a bunch of reps. They probably get a cut of that payment, and that's how that company makes money. And or 2, they're not going to keep you on for very long at all. The second type of role that I would avoid in most cases are businesses that have 0 sales process. So these are businesses that they want you to come in and they want you to almost build their sales process from scratch. They have no consistency in how they acquire customers. They don't have a process that you're coming into to facilitate on their behalf. They want you to come in and build it out commission only. I want to specify that, hey, it's okay to come in and, maybe help a business build out their sales process if you're being paid maybe a base pay, for example. That's why you see a lot of SDR account executive roles have massive base pays, because there's a lot of go out there, find leads, and take care of the whole process, be a full cycle rep in those types of roles. But they come with big base pays, which make it more fair and worth your time. But if a company has 0 sales process, and when I say 0 sales process, I don't mean they just do cold outreach, cold calling, because you can have a cold outreach process where, hey, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get a service like Apollo.io, I'm going to get a service like ZoomInfo, I'm going to gather leads, and I'm going to, organize the leads, and then I'm going to provide those leads to my sales rep and say, hey, I want you to dial 100 leads a day or 50 leads a day and set me X amount of appointments, and or I want you to full cycle set and close these leads that I've identified for you, and I'm using my money to, source from different areas. Like, that's fine. If you have a cold call process, that's fine. But if they have 0 process, they want you to go out, find leads, vet them, set them, close them, pretty much do everything, and they are doing it commission only. It can be okay, is like if they have maybe good delivery systems or something, but in most cases, these aren't the best offers to work with. Maybe they might give you a huge chunk of the commission, but a lot of these businesses are usually smaller, newer companies. They've got no process in place. You want to work with a proven offer. And that brings me to my last business that you don't really want to work with. Is kind of similar to this one, but it's the one that has never made any sales. And again, they want you to come in commission only and start making magic happen. So if a company has never sold their product before, and I get these, running Rep Select, it's a job platform for remote sales reps. So businesses come to me to post jobs. And I'd say every single week I get 1 or 2 businesses that come to me and they say, hey, I've never sold this before. I'm not offering a base pay. I want to bring on a sales rep commission only, and I'm not generating any leads. I want them to do it completely cold, and I'm not sourcing leads in any type of way. I just want them to come in and pretty much be the sales arm and be like the co-owner of my business for, you know, a 3 to 5% or 10% commission. Now, those are opportunities that you probably don't want to take on because they aren't proven offers. You know, maybe the person might not even be that good at delivering the service they're offering. And if the business owner just isn't willing to take the time to actually sell themselves a few times before to prove that the offer is, you know, valuable to the market, that people want it, why would you spend your time doing that, right? Whenever you start a new offer, whenever you're selling something for the first time, there's a period where you got to go out and prove the offer, where you got to go out and figure out if the market wants it, figure out if it's going to work at scale or if it's even going to work at all. And usually the business owner, the person creating that offer, is going to be the one to do that. You don't want to be the one to do that for commission only. Like, you can be the one to do that if they're willing to give you a considerable base pay, because you're being paid for the time, you're being paid for the discovery phase of, hey, is this offer viable? But if you're not being paid for it, there's going to be a huge amount of time where you're just testing things out and it doesn't usually make sense. So that's not something I would do either. Those are the 3 types of offers that I see people running into the most these days, with the big one to avoid being the ones where people are promising you a job. Again, nothing wrong with a service that is offering you access to their pipeline. Nothing wrong with a service that is, you know, teaching you how to land roles. Nothing wrong with paying for coaching services, anything like that when it comes to remote sales. But if someone is saying, hey, guaranteed placement, I'm going to put you on an offer as long as you pay this amount of money, I would avoid those at all costs, avoid the ones with no sales process, and avoid the ones that have never sold and are unwilling to sell, because the business owner can't lead you properly because they've never done it themselves. They can't train you. They don't necessarily even know their target market because they've never sold it. Avoid those roles. You'll find a good one if you get rid of those, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope that helps.